Welcome back to the YouTube channel Next in Line. Today in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to add a nock into your arrow and also how to add your arrowhead. So when you're adding the nock on your arrow, I just use a hacksaw, and all I have is a blade right now. I don't have the actual hacksaw. But you're just going to start on, remember the small end is where we're going to start it. And then we're going to put our arrowhead on what was the bigger end of our shaft. And so you're just going to go right in the middle of that small part. So when you start doing this, you're going to want to just slowly do it just to make a start, and that'll help you as you actually do your arrow nock. And then once it starts good enough, you can start going quicker. And then you'll just go until I go till it's flush, but it depends on the width of your blade. You may have to change that according to whatever your tools you're using. This is really close to being flush, and so I'm just going to end it here. And what I'm going to do next is I have a little file, and once again you can get this from Harbor Freight for really cheap. And you just file it down now. And if you're not straight, meaning that you didn't go directly in the middle, whatever side is less in the middle, you can just file and put pressure towards that side. So if there's more material on this side, as I file down, I'll just put pressure going this way. And if there's less material on this side or this side, whatever side it is, then you'll just put less pressure on that side. And that's how I keep it straight as I'm going down. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little bit more material on this side, so I'm gonna stay this way. I'm gonna put pressure that way. And then I'm just gonna follow that hole all the way down. I'm flush with my last cut, and now I'm just gonna go at the very bottom, and I'm gonna go sideways with the file and just open that hole up a little bit more at the bottom so the bowstring can rest in it. And you'll want to use your bowstring and stick it in and just figure out how much more material you'll need to take off. And you want it to be tight, and a good way to test it, or where you want it at, is you'll stick it on your bowstring and then you'll tap it. And if you can tap it off, it's good, but you still want it tight. You don't want it to just fall off. I've got this about how I want it, and so next I just want to go in and I'll kind of crank this sideways and file and crank it back sideways. And the reason for that is I'm trying to sand off the rough edges so it doesn't cut my string as I use it. And then any other edges, for example, on the top and then on the sides, you'll want to file those down and make them smooth just so it doesn't cut your string at all. This is glue for your arrowhead, and you just heat it up and then you put it on your arrowhead and stick it to your shaft, and it'll glue it really nice. It works really well. And then if you ever need to take it off, you just heat up your arrowhead and it comes right off. And so I will put a link in the description on where to get this, and then I'll also have a link on buying the other stuff that I've included in my videos. So now I'm just gonna heat up this glue. And then I'm just gonna put it on the shaft. And it might cool off by the time you're ready to glue on your brass piece or your arrowhead. But what I'm using for this arrowhead is a 9mm brass casing, and it's just a blunt. It's just for what I'm using. But you can also use glue-on tips they have, or whatever tips you're using. And I'll have a link on where you can get those as well in the description. And once it cools, it should be fairly easy to just take whatever's scooted down. You can just take that right off. And it leaves a pretty nice finish. That's all I have for this video. My next video is going to be on preparing feathers for fletchings. And then the video after that will be on gluing the fletchings on. If this video meets your expectations, remember to subscribe and like.